Greetings, all praise be King. Today we're speaking about counterintelligence, often referred to as cointel. These are propaganda agencies. That's what the name implies. If you are countering intelligence, you are attempting to obstruct the truth and present a lie. This is a form of witchcraft. And there are various agencies within these governments, man. The great harlot rides upon the beast, this harlot being the body of the Antichrist, taken over by the Church of Rome after the Messiah came first. And so this whore rides upon the beast, this beast being a vehicle for man. Their role is to imitate Christ because they sought power unto themselves. In this way, they have convinced themselves that by convincing others that they are holy, they are justified. Why is it that they seek to keep the thoughts of others out? What is it that they fear? As we recall the events, September 11, 2001, sparked a new wave of security. Do most people feel more secure today than they did at that time? So what is the security about? It's about protecting the wealth of some. Their means of protection is technology. Historically, man has sought to conquer, and in so, this quest for domination has led him to advance sophistication of weaponry. Today's weaponry is not seen by the common man. It is so advanced that even the man that builds it does not have the control over it. And it is moving. This it is the beast. Even the second beast that gives power onto the first beast. This is man's power. It must be given to man, even by Lord, because of the sin of our people. Because in the scripture where the Israelites had gone to wickedness, they had been taken into captivity. It is our choice to remain in captivity, to cease from these devices of man and the worshiping and serving of the beast, and putting faith in man, that the doctor will give you the right pill, that the lawyer will defend your case, that the politician, if he shows up and has a certain look on his face, that he's to be trusted. This is falsehood. It has been written. Thy people have the true power, even to destroy the wickedness of man, as we give no respect for them. What are some of the agencies operating today, especially after 9/11? Traditionally, you have the FBI. Then comes this new Homeland Security. And this was something put together after 9/11. Next, you have these state terror organizations that are sprouting up. If you read from the commission report of 9/11, you'll know that part of the function for the response was to tie these agencies together so that they could work with one another. Sounds logical. Oh yeah, why wouldn't you want your local police to be contacting the FBI? So there must be more to it than just what that claim is. And that could be having to do with this technology advancement. That this sophistication had reached the point where it was crossing lines. That even in the commission it states that agents for the FBI were not accepting some of these practices that were occurring, which was namely monitoring all the cell phone communications in this country. So they were beginning to think this may have some kind of implication, as a breach against some rule. Whereas before they required a warrant to get into the phone line. Now it was just being collected. And so there was this need for this Pearl Harbor style attack, so that the population would come to accept this practice, which provides enormous profits for a few individuals. It goes without saying. And so this provided the pretext for 9/11. Just a few guys, supposedly, and they hit this building. It just collapsed. World Trade Center 7-2. And so this is like something to shock the public. And then as you read the commission report, you can see where they're saying, we have to be able to apply these technologies, that the equipment is needed, this vehicle, so that these technologies are accepted. At the end of the day, they're looking for acceptance. They're not trying to tap people's phones that are aware. I mean, they are, but that's not their goal. Their goal is to tap people's phones that are unaware. And their goal is to make as many people unaware as possible, and not thinking about this. This is a codification process to turn people into numbers. They use these numbers to be able to target them. They call it ad targeting. It's basically, they're just mind control. It's behavioral modification in some circumstances, unless it's the good ones. So they've got this thing about this DNA. They're using this numerical sequence to identify individuals. It's called profiling. And then they're going to determine, oh, that's what the machine says. It can't be wrong. This man can put all this trust in that which he has made with his own hands. This is the work of the idol. So what is different about these organizations? Well, traditionally the FBI functions as spies. But not just spies. They're looking to hear what it is that is being said. And then they have a big mouth, so they can go about, make sense of everything for people. Basically, they do what they say they don't do, which is propaganda domestically. Supposedly, the CIA does it overseas. That's a whole nother organization. But nobody seems to know. Everything's a secret with the CIA. This group right here is the new kid on the block since 9/11. And their role is also propaganda. But however, they take a slightly different approach. See? Them are the actors. They go out on the scene and they spread their propaganda with their signs and this thing. But not necessarily about capital. What they seek to do is to take the role of the Christ. So then they can steer people towards their way. Some of them got bullhorns. And they're looking to paint a false image of what it is to have true power. This is the new kid. They're functioning within states such as this one. And they've got their operations throughout the state for the purpose of also spying. But yet this time, they're looking through that screen. They're trying to obstruct you from what you do. If you do what you do, then they don't like it. So this is basically a cyber war 17th. They're also using drones. These drones are functioning to, what's the drone look like? Can't see it, right? They're spying on people. They're sucking up communications. They're also playing the monkey. Monkey man. They got ears, but they ain't got no mouth. Let's put the drone up here. It's over us. The little bird. So the justification was in place. You know, these people claim that they go into the mosques and they make sure that there's no terrorists. That's their claim. And even these dependent networks, communication channels, ride this line to say, you know, that this is what they're doing and it's discriminatory and this thing. But they know they can sell it. They know they can sell it because of 9/11 and also because of events that have happened since then. Because these agencies, when they spread their propaganda, counterintelligence, what they're looking to do is to agitate people to action, to commit the acts of crime which justify their positions. Because if we lived in a world where there was no crime, then there would be no need for police. No need. So, this is besides your local police. Local police typically play dirty, whereas they'll also be using these little beast birds. But yet, you know, they're given some kind of authority from the big dog, and yet they you know, they get away with more than what they're instructed to do. These monkey rules aren't written so that they're stringent upon those that write them. They give them particular leniencies where they're able to get away with basically things that you wouldn't be able to. These are straight clowns, crooked clowns maybe. You see them on the street when you go to protests. They'll set up shop. I've got documentation of a few. They read the scripture from their smartphone. They just read it. They might even be dressed like they're Islamic. They could be women. They'll put on the hijab. And so they're looking to pull those Muslim women towards them to give the power onto the first beast, ultimately, which exists from the days of Babylon. Ancient region of Sumer. This is